Salute to SAACYF. SAACYF sayazi ba ilwela kakhulu amalungelo olutsha and kubenefita kakhulu nabantu abadala ku SAACYF. Today we just had a beautiful webinar that was hosted by President of SAACYF Romeo Ramuada and also featuring Thandile Petshwa, who is very knowledgeable when it comes to issues of cultural and creative industry. And in this webinar, I think there were a lot of teachings and the attendance was brilliant. It shows that many artists, they really want to apply and get a funding. Salute to every artist that attended that session. To those that did not attend, you can visit SAACYF Facebook page and you watch it through. Once again, salute and respect SAACYF and all the leaders that are taking their time to equip other artists, understanding how to get the funding. Babonisi ukuthi abekho selfish and knowledge ya share. Ndiyabulela mashita. Sanibona abantu basekhaya. My name is Thami Mbongo Manzana. Mbongo mbuyisa ungaleza undimo sondisa salwa ku Manzana khomalo mtungu omdleke ngalomazwi ndithi welcome to this edition. Today we're going to talk about Mzansi Golden Economy. As you remember, in the past we've done quite a couple of episodes, and then we also did an episode where we unpack Mzansi Golden Economy, and today I just want us to focus on that. And we are doing this episode on top of the ongoing debate and discussion that is happening. There is a concerned organizations that have shared their frustration on behalf of the cultural and creative industry in South Africa to the minister and DSEC. And today I want to start this show by saluting the organization, some of these organizations, including Cultural and Creative Industry Federation of South Africa, SIFSA, SACPU, South African Creative Practitioners Union, and SAACYF, South African Arts and Culture Youth Forum, and SA, which is South African Association of Arts Administrators, and then AYUSA, Association for the Entertainers of South Africa, and then there's also Sisterhood, there's SAMIC, South African Music Industry Council, there's South African Poets Guild, there's SICA, Cultural and Creative Industry Guild of Africa, there's also the Clap and Tap Federation. Obviously there are other organizations, but this organization came together and saw a need to challenge the department. As you know, department kala yavula he calls the MGE that was submitted, I think, in January. And then later on, they changed their stand to say people must reapply only for the touring venture. We understand that will be adjudicated. And it was a big concern. And another concern, because they were only saying the online application won't be accepted. People needed to go to certain centers and submit their application. And this concerned organization raised their comment. And today, which was beautiful, we received the news that now they are going also to accept application that are going to be sent via email. And their email is MGE Application 2025 at dsec.gov.za, which is another achievement for those that were going to travel for a long time, you understand, to get into the center place. And the struggle still continue to advocate for the department to consider those that are applied in January. But we must also emphasize, you understand, those that did not apply must apply, and also those that applied, you understand, it won't kill you to reapply. It does not mean it's the end of the struggle, it's the end of fighting for what is right. You understand that, because later on in department noba is against P-Tricks, you understand that you don't miss out. So do apply, you understand that. And I think the latest update, it will be now that they have opened for the emails that you can email, you understand, they haven't changed the times because they only accept on the set dates and set times. So make sure, you understand, I know those who will want to submit early, don't let them use that against you. You understand, because they specify what they are accepting from 10 April till 12 April, and they are set times, you understand, from day 1, what time to what time. So make sure you submit, you understand, to them at those specific time, so that you understand that bangazuku disqualify when tumelanga at that set time. You understand, we are dealing with our department here, and siyayazi ukuthi ngabantu abanjani. Before I go on to other matters, I want to go to, there was an email that I sent to department where I wanted clarity on certain matters, because I felt there were things that were not clear in terms of a department, right? So I asked them a couple of questions. One, I asked, will applicant receive a confirmation email upon submitting their application via email? There will be a receipt email, so you must expect an email when you've done an application. The second one, I also wanted to find out for manual submission, will there be any form of receipt or proof of submission issued to the applicant? The department responded and said all applicants will sign in a registration book. We will allow them to take pictures of themselves as they submit, if ufuna ubane proof, you understand, what you submitted. And then the other question that I asked the department was, in the previous cycle, funding was closely linked to the number of job opportunities created in the current application. In the current application, it appears that one does not need to specify the number of jobs. However, Section D of the application form still requests information on job work opportunities to be created. But yes, jobs are not specific. This must be according to your project. Neti, could you please elaborate on this section? But yes, because the overall aim of the open call is job opportunity for the sector. So yes, every project must present an opportunity for job or gigs for the sector. And then I said further, under output, there's this section that might be confusing a lot of people, because they're talking about signed letter of confirmation, signed contract, etc. How is this expected to work if applicants do not yet have confirmation of funding? Wouldn't this pose challenges, especially if practitioners are asked to sign contracts without assurance of funding? But you need to put, you need not provide those documents now, but you need to stipulate what kind of agreement you will be entering into with those you will employ. Once an applicant is approved and receive grant, they will have to submit the documents they alluded up. You understand? And it's very relevant, you understand, so that you have limit uti you can't apply because bafuna a document estile zimpendulo zabo ezi, so we can make them accountable for impendulo basinike zona. Number 4, I ask in this section requesting a list of previous DSEC funding. Should this include funding received from DSEC entities such as NFVF, NAC, or is it limited to directly DSEC funding? But no, at this time, indicate DSEC or DSEC directly. So, as far as the NFVF, nezinye. And then the last question was regarding the project proposal and budget. The guidelines indicate a maximum of 15 pages. Is there a minimum page requirement? But the maximum for proposal and budget is 15 pages outside of the attachments. No, there is no minimum. So that's the information that we got from DSEC, and we understand that we can use it against them. So make sure this is the information that is coming from them. We understand. So I think to be safe, let's just go through what we call guidelines. You understand? Because I feel abantu abaninzi bayanida reminder. You understand what was the criteria, eligibility process, and the system. But I will only go to the important ones. We understand, because you've got these guidelines. So if you look at objectives are very important. We understand. Don't forget, stimulate demand, audience development and consumption, building heritage resources, information gathering, human capital development, developing cultural enterprises. And also, please don't forget this information. We understand that support will be provided to programs that are to be implemented between July 2025 and February 2026. Later on, bayachaza ukuthi funeka ujonge a time frame. So please don't start your project ngoJune okanye ngothini. They can use it against you. We understand that focus on July 2025 up until February 2026. And also here are the times, just in case you didn't catch the times. Submission times 8 o'clock till 4:30 on the 10th, 9/11. I repeat, 8 o'clock till 4:30, 10, 11 April, and then 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 12 February, April, February. So on the last day, it's between 9 and 5 o'clock. Be early, asiyazi lines zabanjani. And also lately they have specified the address of each and every drop-off place in all the provinces. But don't forget, if you are far, you can send an email. And and then let's recap in terms of the documents that they want. Let's start with the PTY. They want a certified IT copy of the person, that the company director. They want a SARS good standing document. Make sure latest, you understand, is this time. They want that proposal with budget breakdown. So your budget must have a breakdown. They also want your company registration certificate. If you are applying for touring venture, definitely you sending them the invitation letter. You understand? And then for NPOs, NPC, NPO, trust, zonges or NGO, a certified IT copy. They want a good SARS standing. They want a proposal with budget, and they also want the NPO registration certificate, which was the big issue, if you remember. They still want the invitation letter for the touring venture, and they emphasize this thing of 15 pages. So it must not exceed 15 pages. And please make sure you are clear whether it's the cultural and creative industry project or it's under touring venture, so that we understand, you don't confuse them. And also, if you look at the criteria, they specify like sectors. I think they deal with about 5 sectors: performance celebration, visual arts and craft, books and press, the design, creative service, audio-visual and interactive media. Please note, film production and post-production do not qualify, but refer to NFVF guidelines. And we spoke about this in the webinar that was organized by SAACYF. Uguti, people must check, because as you know, NFVF, they do fund film festival, documentary, they do fund development work. What do they mean about this? You understand? It needs to be clear. By the time of recording this, I was still waiting for an answer from them because I wanted a clarity. Page and name modeling competition or events do not qualify, but disqualify. Talent search and competition do not qualify. Be careful whether it's a festival is similar with competition. Thami banga better ngaphandle. Which job criteria, time frame is important. Job creation and local economic development. As I said in the beginning, stimulate demand and consumption. Social cohesion. There is a minister, young social cohesion. So make sure you are aligning to everything that they are saying. And then creative innovation and competitiveness. Remember, the maximum available for grant is 2 million per beneficiary. And then it's a competitive loan. I think 2 million is for the creative, cultural and creative industry project. And then 1 million for touring ventures. And also they specify like everything that you need to know. But quickly, I just want quickly to go through the form actually. The form just to check, because people, I think in the form I must give them a credit. They try to make it easy. Because in the first part that they want to know is what is it's section 1, which talks about the work stream. Is it cultural, creative industry? Is it touring venture? And then they go into discipline. The beautiful thing about the discipline, you can specify. And in the webinar, we also spoke about this. Some people want to apply for multidiscipline, you understand, but here they've specified which one. So you must be creative. If you are doing a festival and the music is going to dominate in that festival, maybe you can say music, you understand. Find a way of being creative so that they don't disqualify. And section 2 deals with organization, company info, like just like they did in the online thing. And then they look at the brief history of your organization. What are the aims of the organization, achievements or awards, and then permanent office bearers, you understand, of the organization. They're looking for director, financial manager, project manager, and then ask information the organization, and then they want the contact details of the reference. And then in sections 3, they look at the project details. You understand? This is where you write about the project. You write about the project name, a brief explanation of the project that you are applying, what are the objective of the project. Just in brief, what is beautiful about this form, you can also fill it online. We understand you don't need to print it out and then you go and write. They ask you about the project impact, and then you elaborate on that, the start date, the end date, the venue, whether it's rural or independent, how long will it take. And then in section D, they talk about job work opportunity that will be created through the project. Detail the title of the job, up until nini, where will this take place, in the planning. Some will take in rehearsal or office or in the actual venue, you understand? And then this is the one that output. So if you are going to sign like a contracts, later on you can say contract, letter of confirmation, just so that they've got a sense of how you're going to. And then point 2 talks about for support service, which is totally different from the first one, you understand? And then in section 4, they talk about the finance, total project cost, other funding sources, if you are going to get them, total funding required from DSEC, when you combine the two, and then list the previous DSEC funding. As I said in the beginning, they said they are only looking for the funding that you've been receiving from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, not the entities. And then details of other funding that have been confirmed for this project. And then also they want to know, are there any other funding that are not yet confirmed? Indicate a conflict of interest by iPhone. Are there any services that you are rendering to DSEC? If yes, provide. They specify what they are going to display. Welcome to our YouTube channel. We have various videos, state of the arts, current affairs on various matters. If you have not subscribed, please do so, as we are planning on revamping the whole channel. Please subscribe, like our videos, share them, and don't forget to press that notification button. So yeah, welcome back. Now, Nivile Wuti, department Funanduni, understand? I just want to close this show and say good luck to each and every organization that is going to apply for this funding. And the department encourages a partnership. So let's say you don't have the NPO certificate, but there is a PTY organization or an NPO that is having all the necessary document. So I think you can partner with them as long as you sign an agreement. You understand? Because I know there might be a lot of artists who've got brilliant ideas, but due to paperwork, they are not ready. So get those people. And there are those organizations and the paperwork in order, but abanazo ideas of exchanging. So I'm encouraging you, let's find a way of assisting each other, you understand, so that many people get this funding, so that we stop this thing of saying same people are getting the funding. So the same people that are getting the funding, they must spend some time to educate those people who are not getting the funding, so that cake man sharing song. And once again, salute to the organizations, concerned artists that are fighting for what is best in terms of the industry. You understand that we see you, we salute you, and don't be discouraged. You understand? Problem Mzansi Golden Economy is just one of many issues as is faceayo upper way department here to sports, arts and culture. Ne artists as needs. So it's a good start. You understand? I know in the past we've got our differences. You understand? We've got our different approaches, but it does not stop us when there are issues that combine us, that as a sector we speak as one. We can't, you understand, and then sibeke differences to aside, you understand. This issue here, MGE, it affects everyone. And there are a lot of other issues that affect the cultural and creative industry. But as you understand that instead of dealing with the issue, we want to fight the people and the organizations that are involved. We must set our difference sometimes aside. And good luck to everyone that apply. Don't forget the closing date, 10 to 12. But the struggle of fighting for the department, the promises that they've made, and changing what they've promised does not mean it's the end. You understand? But now we encourage people to apply while also we are fighting the system. Now, Thami Mbongo manzana Mbongo isungalezo ndimusondiso mvemnyama salwa manzana khumalo mtungwa omdleke pari yasephali eBholandi emaplasini bathi kusemaplasini kodwa ikasi mbikuye ikasi yamakasi. Siyabulela.
Life of an artist, bacho xa spices, glorifying drugs as a stage fright cure. You can try this just when you're about to grab your chance of staging. Excitement, you can't think out this industry, or should I say this killer dream, cause you will swear that from the start it was designed to kill artists. Bangakulwela when days are bright, umuthembekile. As a human being on Instagram, too much pressure, unrealistic expectations. Whoever said that artists are perfect, is with us, wethembekile. Singiza wethembekile. Remedies within us, as ikhwemba sipepekile.